But lastly, we're going to move on to our review of episode 2 of Dune Prophecy. I know you just came off of this fresh. So how did you...
Yeah, I just came off of this fresh episode.
Yeah, hell yeah, brother.
So, like...
Stop.
Like, these sisters, it's crazy, bro.
Dude, the sisterhood is crazy.
Crazy, the plotting, dude. So, big improvement from last week's episode.
I would agree. Maybe not big, but it's an improvement.
I would say it's improvement because I wasn't sleepy, you know. I was feeling sleepy at a certain point.
One time I got sleepy, but that's it.
I was sleepy a little bit, but then it really got going.
Yeah.
Definitely an improvement in pacing, in interesting dialogue, in the stakes actually being felt to a certain degree. To having kind of consequences occurring from past actions in kind of unexpected ways. So a lot of just a lot of stuff that was keeping me intrigued and kind of wanting to. Instead of like just being like, oh, I like Dune, and you know, I'm kind of curious. Like now, I kind of feel like I know where this show is going, and I'm way more intrigued. And
like I was already intrigued.
Sex. We're getting back to that good old HBO
Game of Thrones sex. Yeah. But no, I think
it's been too long, my friend.
My favorite stuff in that first episode was with Desmond, and I think he just got even stronger this episode. Like I loved his interactions with the sister Prime. What's the
Mother Reverend?
Mother, is that her name? Mother Reverend?
Well, okay. You mean Valia?
Yeah, but they gave her like a title. Like
I thought she was a Reverend Mother at this point.
Yeah, but like aren't there other Reverend Mothers?
I thought she was the only.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
Could be wrong.
But yeah, like their interactions were great, especially their last scene where like she does the scream at him and he's like
the voice.
Nah, I'm good.
I don't want to.
I don't want to cut my throat.
I don't want to
put it back in my pocket.
And I'm gonna say something really mean to you.
Yeah, and his read on her was great, and yeah, just his presence has been amazing this season. I love seeing the Emperor, like how he was able to turn like his position around with this guy, and like maybe like where he is morally, and like especially his wife. Like we got to see a lot of his wife this episode.
Which I guess she's kind of if I'm not mistaken, in the first episode, she was like, you know, or at least he was saying the Empire was better for it when like I was listening to you, or like maybe she was saying that to him.
She was saying that, yes, and he's like, we have different memories of the past, right?
And now she's kind of
she's back in her
role. Way.
You're right. I forgot about that.
You know.
Yeah. No, that's good. I like that.
The students have a lot more intrigue.
They were better this time, for sure. I still don't like the edgier like white woman student. I don't remember in the first episode she was like, and I killed somebody and laughed about it or something, or I don't know.
About the sister who
tries to convince the other one to not do this ritual thing. Yeah. Her. I'm still not a fan of her, but like I like the Raquel. Was that the one who went through the ritual?
No, her name's Tula.
Okay. Well,
but they were trying to get her to get talk to Raquel,
something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that her whole journey through the episode was really well done, and her final, like when she's going through it, was really strong.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a really cool scene and kind of freaky with all the black and white bodies just swarming her. Now,
did I read it right that like, so when she I guess when she kind of woke up from all the bodies swarming her, she was speaking to her great grandmother?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, sort of. She was like, I think, okay, it was either that it was her for a moment and then it became the woman who was murdered, or it was always the woman who was murdered and she was just pretending to be the great grandmother.
Well, I had a different read. I guess my read was that it was always the great grandmother, and then she told her that like the woman that was her mother who like, you know, Lilia or Valia just told her to like, you know, stab a knife into her throat.
Yeah.
She, you know, the great grandmother figure was saying that like, if you were expecting to see her here, then you're sadly mistaken. You know, like they tricked you into doing this for that. And that she killed her in revenge to like stopping their plans. That was my read on it. That like, even though she's her great granddaughter, she's like, I'm still gonna kill you because you're a part of their plans and gonna stop them.
Okay, no, because that wouldn't make any sense, because the woman who Valia killed,
I thought that was her mother, right?
It might have been, yes.
That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
The woman that Valia killed wanted to get rid of their breeding program, which Raquella, the Reverend Mother, and her great grandmother was in charge of and had created. So Valia killed her because she wanted to continue the breeding program, and then the woman that they killed didn't. So that wouldn't make any sense, because obviously the great grandmother would have wanted that to continue. So I do believe that it was either that.
You think it was her mom killing her daughter in a sense? Was that kind of what we're reading here?
I don't think Tula died.
I think Tula died. I'm like almost positive Tula died.
She might have.
I mean, you are more fresh coming off of the show, but
she might have died. I don't
because
know.
like they were crying over her body at the end. Like it was. I don't think
it was her great grandmother, but
okay.
Yeah,
well,
because she was like, "You stole my future," you know.
Yeah, it had to have been. But I guess my read on it was that like the great grandmother was saying, like, to the Harkonnen, you stole my future by killing my line, in a sense. But maybe not. I think your version makes more sense.
It could be. I mean,
sorry to the viewers that we had such a hard read on this thing, even though we thought it was cool as hell.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you want to keep talking about it, I'll try to see if I can find what.
I'll talk about some other stuff I thought was cool. I have to say, like, even though I'm rooting against the sisterhood, I think it's very cool, like how they communicate and how they influence each other and like work the system. Like, I think one of my favorite parts of that episode was seeing like Valia come into the Emperor's like throne room, and the woman who's advising the other person, the father who was gonna marry his son to the Emperor's daughter, she very subtly was like, you need to get him out of here and get control of your guy, and the other sister was like immediately, you know, spraying on it. So I like how they're manipulating things. It's very efficient and well done, but like I still am not rooting against, or I'm not rooting for them, because like I know they're a bit snaky. Yeah. So have you found anything?
Shai Halud, Benny Gesserit, Shai Halud, Carino.
Well, if we don't figure it out, you can tell us in the comments what the actual interpretation of it is there.
Lila ultimately opts to undergo the agony. She does reach Raquella, who issues a prophecy, and then they do the key to reckoning is one born twice, once in blood, once in spice. Sure sounds like a certain soldier swallowed by a sandworm, which is what I was thinking. It was Desmond is who she was talking about. But Raquella also reveals that Lila has been lied to. Her mother isn't there in her genetic memory. Oh, maybe it is what you're talking about, that they got tricked because maybe she could find her mother. But then again, Tula, or not Tula, or no, it is Tula.
Yeah.
or whoever Valia's sister was telling her, like, I don't think you'll find your mother. I thought.
She was saying it's a strong possibility you won't find her mother, but it is still a possibility.
Which means she's which means she's alive somewhere. Lila also learns Valia and Tula's secret. They killed one of their Bene Gesserit sisters to clear Valia's path to power. All that truth seems to come at the cost of Lila's life. Maybe you're right.
So was the great grandmother killing her great granddaughter?
So I guess she's more upset that
the Harkonnens killed her line.
Yeah,
in a sense, but you're saying, but that article's implying that like her mother, like Tula's mother, is still alive, right?
That's what the GQ article says. Yeah.
Yeah. So all right, it's a little confusing. I hope
I'm not gonna lie. This show, like the books. Right. Like the movies, in a sense, like there's a lot going on. So
there is
like,
a lot going on.
You will. I think you like. Obviously, we've missed some stuff, but
yeah, I mean, we haven't really brought up the fact that like they're focusing a good bit on her swordmaster and how he's kind of a spy and working for the rebellion, but also seems to be somewhat in love with the princess. But yeah, she ends up breaking off their relationship because she's sticking around, I guess. So yeah, we don't really know what their path is going to lead to, but he seems like an important character.
Yeah, I mean, he's an Atreides.
He is an Atreides. It's cool to see an Atreides. Yeah.
I think one of the coolest kiss scenes in science fiction history happened when they're
this past episode.
Well, yeah, when their shields, they're moving so slow that they can kiss through their shield and it's red.
Okay.
And then she's got the knife that comes. It's like, we got to break this off. I was like, all right, that was some pretty good writing. It's pretty good. I was like, okay, cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think it's a strong statement saying that's one of the greatest sci-fi kisses of all time. When like this is like the second episode of some spinoff show for Dune.
I mean, just because it's the second episode doesn't.
No. I feel you. It's just like we're not.
I thought it was a really good. I did.
Yeah, sure. We're not loving it, is what I'm saying. Like, but it's good.
But it's good. But I'm saying the kiss was great.
Right. Yeah. So you can have great moments in a semi decent show.
Yeah. So. I really like the Emperor's wife. Yeah. She's she's fascinating because she's got a lot of
stuff going on.
I mean, she to the point where she's just blackmailing him almost she's like, what's the purpose of keeping you around if you don't, offer me anything? He's like, all right, I'll burn the Duke.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, I'm surprised they didn't go full on killing with it.
I mean, I'm surprised he's like, I mean, of course you're going to beg for your life, but like, do you really want to go on living with all those birds?
Also, I feel like, yeah, that's true. But like, I feel like it seems like Desmond has the ability to kill anyone from like anywhere in the universe, right?
It would seem so.
So I think it's a little cheese that like they had him walk up to the Duke and be like, I'm going to burn you. I think it would have been even more intimidating to be like, out of nowhere, he just starts burning. And he's like, what?
I'm going to burn you.
Right. But like,
or keep it a secret,
That's exactly. Now he knows he has this guy who can just burn him.
Right.
I think what should go forward in the future is that like no one ever gets to see Desmond again. And I mean, maybe like the viewers can for sure, but like the Emperor's got to keep him hidden and he can just be like, I got the power to just say, hey, burn this person across the universe and you can do it. So that's exciting as hell. And I'm glad the Emperor took that opportunity. Because I think at first when he arrested him, I was like, oh no. But yeah,
I just need to know what happened. Like, did the sandworm truly eat him?
I think it did. I really do.
So fascinating. It's so interesting.
It's very interesting.
Is going on with that?
Yeah. If he wasn't in the show, then like the show is so much worse, to be honest.
It's certainly not as intriguing.
Yeah.
I certainly think that I do think you're right. Like I think without that character who's providing so much
and
drama and mystery and intrigue, you could have somebody like you could have had the Emperor be like, or somebody plot and be like, kill the boy, and like we're keeping it a secret, which could be fine, but I'm not gonna lie, like the power struggle for the sisterhood at this point to like influence what's going on, like you said, I'm not exactly rooting for them or like, ooh, oh no, this messes up their plans.
Yeah, like I'm happy when Desmond screws up their plans.
Yeah, like I'm more, but then again, without them, I don't get Paul Atreides. And I don't get the story of Dune, which like we know where this story is going.
Is that, like, I think why we're rooting against them is because in the movies we're rooting against them,
Yes.
So I don't think this show is going to end in a spot where like Desmond is victorious. I think the sisterhood will be victorious by the end of the season.
Yes.
But it's very cool to follow him around and like see him screw them up for a while.
I am curious. I feel like there's got to be more to his character than just to like put a like a little wrench in their plans. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, he wants to take them down fully. So yeah. I'm a little surprised, like why he wouldn't have just burned the, Valia.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, you
guys were alone. I mean,
you could also like stab her.
Sure. I mean, she has no power over you. So, he seems pretty invulnerable.
He just said like the just most like mean girl shit to her at the end.
Like
he's
about
like,
her fear and whatnot.
Yeah, he's like, I wonder what would be your biggest fear. And it's, what was it? That everyone would hear you, but they just wouldn't care.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Like, oh shit.
Nobody cares what you think. Yeah, it's so
it's almost like maybe he wants her to like suffer as much as possible while like everything else goes terrible around her. I could see that being like his kind of goal.
Yeah. Dear diary, I couldn't make him kill himself today.
It distraught me so much.
I couldn't get the princess to marry a 9-year-old. All my plans are getting ruined.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious to see if she ever gets to the sisterhood. It's very possible she won't now, but
yeah. Also the sex scene where obviously that guy was getting played. Like
the sword guy? Or?
No. The brother and
yeah.
The like daughter of
I was like, why did you say that? That was
like,
to me.
Do you
was
realize like right. I mean like at least I was like, dude, you're getting played right now, but
right.
Because I was like, this is gonna come up. It's gonna get brought up, and she's gonna do like, we're gonna see her make some sort of motion about like, haha, I knew I was the one who did it.
That's exactly what happened. Right? Yeah, I was like, I saw exactly where this was going. Like immediately when he was like, he doesn't think my father notices that I see things, but I do, and I'm like, oh my god, you're such a moron.
My dad loves me.
Yeah, so I think that was like the only really like cheesy writing I would say in this one. But yeah,
I still thought the scene was good, even like because I was like, okay, you're being played, but like he's also on drugs, and I'm like,
he's a dumbass in general.
Well,
so.
he's a sweet guy. He obviously like cares about.
Yeah, but he's obviously like the ladies guy who doesn't have any ambitions. So
yeah.
So. But yeah, I am still actually looking forward, maybe not still, but I'm actually looking forward to episode 3 a bit when I wasn't looking forward to episode 2 at all. So
I agree. I'm actually looking forward to finding out what happens
What's going
next. Even though we're going to be halfway through the season next episode.
I hate that, dude. I hate that so much. We needed at least 8 episodes, but
yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's so strange that like the Penguin is
it's like the golden standard right now.
I would say like the Penguin has more. I wouldn't say it has as complex of storylines because this story does have a lot of different things at play. But it's just interesting that a story like The Penguin is getting told through 8 episodes and has significantly more compelling writing than a show that's based off of like Dune and
it has an actual book behind it, you know.
I don't know how much of it. I still don't know how much of that is actually based off of any one particular book. But I mean,
yeah, if anyone's read Dune: The Sisterhood out there by Brian Herbert, then let us know how similar it is.
Yeah, I mean, what does it even say? It says the show which draws upon but is set after the great schools of Dune novel trilogy by Brian Herbert.
Interesting.
Which is what I thought. It's not an actual story. It's just based off of.
So they must have really reworked, because at one point, I guess maybe that's what I'm remembering, is like at one point, and I think they had redeveloped the whole season or series at one point. So I think the original development was that it was called Dune: The Sisterhood, and it was based off of the same book. So they must have really, done some shaking up around, and they really wanted a spinoff that was set thousands and thousands of years before Dune for some reason.
Yeah. So. By the way, I still think that it was set it was still going to be set roughly around like it's
time period. Okay.
Like it's saying that it's set after the trilogy.
Yeah.
So it's still pretty far, before like the Dune story. Yeah. So I think that's still the same. But there were moments in like this episode and the last episode where I was like, it's still an HBO show. Like it's still like amazing to look at. And like the actors are still great. Like for the most part. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, sometimes I'm like, Mark Strong feels a little out of place.
I would agree sometimes. He's not the strongest emperor in my head. He doesn't have a lot of defining characteristics.
But I guess that's kind of the point. Like they call him like a weak emperor.
I mean, it feels like it. It really does. Like he's being manipulated by everybody.
Yeah,
so,
he really is.
Yeah. No, I mean, if that's how the story's written, then it makes sense. I would also say the students aren't the greatest of actors, but it works. It works fine.
Yeah.
But yeah. Looking forward to episode 3.
Yeah, me too.